pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3, discussion and possible approval of minutes from the July 27, 2026 Commissioners meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Yes.
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 Item 4, discussion and possible approval of payment of purchase orders that were denied in the previous meeting.
I don't think we had anything.
No action. Item 5, review purchase orders generated by the Grady County governing bodies during the current and previous months and are authorized to deny payments of such purchase orders.
Okay, we have one, purchase, it's, the assessor's office, PO should have been opened before last fiscal year. It was $24.26.
Make a motion to approve. Oh, just,
Did you make one?
yes.
Second.
Yes.
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 Item 6, public comments. Comments from the public will be limited to 2 minutes. Time may be extended at the discretion of the board. Ms. Stockton?
Good morning. I've never been to a council meeting, so I apologize if I do anything wrong or say anything wrong. I see some familiar faces this morning, people that I hold dear to me. But what has happened to Dale Thompson, I want to address that this morning. I understand that there's probably not anything gonna happen, but I wanna read this. Thank you for letting me speak to you this morning. Things you may not know about Dale Thompson. His dad had a serious drinking problem. His mother was physically impaired and seldom left the house. He had much to overcome before he became an adult. Dale was a Boy Scout, Troop 306. My husband was Scoutmaster. We saw him grow from the person that he was when he first came there. He worked toward badges. He attended meetings. He did what was asked of him. He was very, very involved in camping when the Scouts went camping. There was no issues with his behavior. He was a model scout, and but again in the background, he had stuff along that he had to deal with. If you've ever had to deal with that, which I praise the Lord, I never did, it's very, very difficult to grow up to become a responsible citizen. I feel like that's what Dale did, and he overcame very much. Fast forward to adulthood. He graduated high school, he married, and he became a productive citizen and public employee. As emergency management director, he offered various programs to Grady County citizens to make life easier and safer. One was to provide shelters for people in Grady County. You could buy a shelter in the ground, or you could buy an upstand, one that stood up. It was up to you, whatever need that you had. And I do not remember what you were paid, but it was a minimal amount. We have one today, and we use that, and I appreciate that was available to citizens of Grady County. Today, the county has more fire departments to protect citizens. The list goes on. Thank you, Dale, for making this county safer. Dale did not ask for heart problems or sickness. Most of us don't ask for the things that come to us. They just happen. Life happens. Whether it's good or whether it's bad, we know that God is in control. I'm a Christian. I believe that God is in control. And so many times we try to blame other people, but life happens. We read things in the Bible where people had a lot of issues, and Dale had issues, and I see that we have a lady here today who has issues. Cancer runs in my family. I understand how terrible that could be. He did not ask for his wife to be in a long-term facility. He was awarded for the work he's done as citizens of this county. He was rewarded by getting fired. Now, all I know about that termination was what I've heard and what I've read. If I'm wrong, I apologize for wasting your time this morning. But I feel like I need to speak this morning for Dale because he's not here to speak for himself. And again, I apologize if I say something that's not right and something that's not correct. To me, I can't say that. I can't say that this morning. I was taught the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Yes, there's rules and regulations in place, I understand that. Every employee who works for anybody has rules and regulations. I was a teacher, and we had rules and regulations. One of the things that, we were able to do was to give sick leave to somebody who worked, in our school, you know, if they needed that, and I did that. But you know what, when I got ready to retire, I had some extra hours, extra time added to me. When we give to other people, it's gonna be given back to us, whether we do it because we wanna reap something or not. Business have regulations in place, but to me, what happened to Dale was a disgrace. And whatever decisions that we make in our life, we have to live with them, good or bad. Again, if I've heard something that's not true, I want the truth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Item 7, new business.
I had, some new business. I had a gentleman come to me last week. This guy is a, experienced, 30-year employee retired from, I think Garfield County as a motor grader operator. He'll be moving this way, and, he knew that we were in need of an operator, so, I went ahead and hired him. He should start hopefully this week. And I didn't take it before, I didn't let Keely know about it, so, actually, I didn't even think about it. So, now, from this time forward, if something like that comes up, I will notify her that everybody knows, put it on the agenda where we need to do. I couldn't let him go. I had to have him.
Don't blame you. You wanna make a motion on it?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the hiring of, can't remember his name, Roger Eastep, Roger Eastep.
It's 'cause his name's at me too.
No,
I'll second.
Zach?
Yes.
Ruth? Yes. Carrie?
yes,
Item 8, discussion and possible approval of the following draw request from the Grady Memorial Hospital sales tax accounts held with First National Bank. Industry Systems, computers, 5 laptops and 5 desktops for $13,910.35. A Skytron cabinet, blanket warmer, nursing unit, $7,367.74.
I make a motion, it was discussed at our meeting, our board meeting at Grady Memorial, so I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Zach?
Yes.
Ruth? Yes. Carrie?
Yes.
Thanks, Jack.
See Jackie?
Item 9, discussion and possible action regarding the Grady County dive team.
One of the dive commanders just left Lawton about 30 minutes ago. Of course, he works for FedEx and he's on his way here. I think y'all need to hear from him and what they offer. It's more than just a dive team. I mean, they do crime scene, there's all kinds of stuff they can do. Very little cost to the county. I'd like to go back, the last 5 years and see if we can pull up and see what they have cost, just to analyze it, which has been very little. Most of the stuff's donated, or they buy their own equipment, so. And I know from being a diver myself, I buy my own stuff whenever I could dive. I wouldn't take some hand-me-down stuff, cause, when you get down far enough, that's your life, so. And I did rescue diving, it's not a fun thing, there's not a whole lot of people that likes doing that, so.
We'll move it to the bottom of the agenda, or until he gets here.
Okay, thank you.
Item 10, discussion and possible action on division order from PO&G operating on property number 328020.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Zach?
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
I think we're gonna do that, that's an EFT.
Everything else is still out.
Item 12, discussion and possible, item 11, discussion and possible approval of depositing an EFT in the amount of $3,397.30 from FEMA project number 1118 for management costs for reimbursement to county highway.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is this the one that we wanted to table? Because
I think
we
you
don't know
can-
what percentages.
I think you can approve to approve it on county highway, but you're gonna have to figure the percentage.
Yeah.
Okay.
On where the money goes, so it's up to you, do you want to?
It's in between you and I think John answered my question, two of them is mine, one of them is yours, it's just been figuring out the
Okay.
percentage, but I think we need to go on and approve it and
Okay.
possibly,
Zach?
Yes.
Ruth?
yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Item 12, discussion and possible approval of declaration of surplus of equipment for Grady County Emergency Management in accordance to 19 Oklahoma statute 339, 421 through 421.2.
It's an old defibrillator, and we just wanna get rid of it properly.
Okay. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Zach?
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Where's my hand? Bill signed that.
Okay, Bill, I'll sign it right.
I'm gonna sign it in Spanish.
Item 13, discussion and possible approval of disposal of equipment for
Your name different in Spanish?
No.
GCMA in accordance with Oklahoma's 19 Oklahoma statute 421. I'll make a motion to approve.
Zach?
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Item 14, discussion and possible approval of depositing a check from County of Grady in the amount of $567 into the Grady County Fire Department 8200 account for CPR cards for GCEMA. I'll make a motion to approve.
Those are some Heart Saver cards we had in our bank, and we don't use Heart Saver anymore, we use BLS. So they just took those over.
Zach?
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Item 15, discussion and possible approval of depositing an EFT from DEA in the amount of $815.10 into the Equitable Sharing M&O account for DEA seized money.
This was the money when Jim Peak was working for the DEA, we had 3 left, so now we've got 2 still open cases, so.
It's federal government, they don't get in a hurry, send us money.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Here. Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Alright, we're gonna go back to item 9. Discussion and possible action regarding Grady County dive team.
Gary Redburn, he's one of the commanders on the dive team, I think he can explain more about why we need them and, you know, and what it's cost. He keeps up with that pretty well.
Kind of give you guys a little history, I don't know, most of you, Zach probably does, but, we started the dive team, there was 2 of us at the sheriff's office, and that was in 2002 when we became, deputies. That was Chuck Berryhill and myself. The emergency management, or the county fire department, had a team as well, and I believe there was 6 or 7 guys on that team at that time. So we did our training, they did their training. We had gotten with Dale and we started training together. So we still had 2 separate teams, but we merged them together, about the time that, well, just prior to Art Kell, becoming sheriff. We moved everything to emergency management. We'd already talked about it, and sounded like a good time to do that. So we all went under Dave. And as far as our cost and our outlays, all the equipment that we have for the most part is ours. There was no big chunks of money that went out and said, here, go buy this, go buy that. What he had prior to, the equipment that he had prior to us coming along, I can't tell you about. I know what kind of equipment it is. It's recreational dive equipment. It's not emergency response equipment. The lifts on them are like 22 pounds per vest, where OSHA says they need to be 70. So we did not go out and buy new equipment. We personally bought our own gear. So during the time that we've run since basically 2002, so we're going our 25th year with the dive team going. We've gotten 4 dry suits from emergency management. We have gotten 6 tanks, not counting the tanks that they had prior to, so I think there's 11 total tanks now that belong to the county. At one point, we got ropes, which was like $300, that we use to keep track of our divers while they're underwater in the dark water. We have people that do that. All the training that we do comes from us. It was either myself that was doing the training, I'm an instructor, or I had a friend that he ran the Oklahoma County dive team, and he owned Blue Water divers when it was out on the south side. And so he is a ERDI course director, goes all over the world training first responders. And so I would get him to come in and we would train our guys. So the county hasn't outlaid any funding for dive training or any of that. We've done all of it. We're available whenever. Anytime that we get a call, we've done a couple of drownings, vehicle recoveries. Our last one was out of Lake Bercy. Our guys generally, they're stationed pretty well throughout the county. I can get a diver to a dive site within about 30 to 40 minutes. So it's a call. The last one that was out of Lake Bercy, the highway patrol was there. They called and said, hey, do you guys got a team? I was actually at Bible Baptist Church when that call came out. I was there within 15 minutes. By the time the first diver arrived, we had the scene assessed. We knew kind of where the vehicle should be. We had our access points, we had everything there, and then we just got together, got the divers together, put them in the water. So I have 5 divers that are active on the team. I have 1 diver that's our safety officer. He is, Steve's probably in his late 70s. But he is a scuba diver, so if he needed to get in the water, he could, but he prefers not to. So he's my safety officer. He takes care of taking an assessment of our situation, drawing out the maps, finding out who's going in the water, keeping track of their airflow and that kind of stuff, what they went in with, what they came out with. If he says no go, we don't go. So it's something that, and so, but I have 5 regular divers. They go out once a month. What we get normally is we got a vehicle from tow. There's an ambulance that they retired and we moved over to emergency management. So we have that. We have a trailer that is there with some equipment that they originally had in the dive team, which is blankets. It has a generator. We have portable lights, that kind of stuff that were already there when we got the team together. So again, it hasn't been anything that we have added really additionally to, so it hasn't really cost the county anything. So we do fuel for the vehicle once a month. We go down to Elmer Thomas. It's the clearest lake that we can get in, and the guys practice. They get their suits out, they get their gear out, and we have a comm gear. We have a base station that the county paid for. And so all the gear that we get, generally I pull in, okay, and that's from me pulling it in from some of the guys that I used to work with at the dive shops, or I got connections with, again, Dale, who's got connections all over the world, and says, hey, I need a combination, it's about $550 dealer cost. And that's what we get. So any of the training, we did add a restriction to our training guide for all of our divers. I want them to be rescued before they ever come to the team and say, hey, I want to be a team member. We did not have that when we first started. Anybody that came in and said, hey, I want to be on the dive team, we trained them. So I trained them. You start with recreational diving, you train open water, then you go to advanced diving, then you go to rescue. Once you get past rescue, you can move into ERDI, which is Emergency Response Dive International, and that becomes a professional dive. So at that point, you become more of a professional. But what we were having was people were going through their open water and their advanced and that kind of stuff. They're getting gear that we were pulling in for dealer cost. And then they were going, bye, I'm going to Mexico, I quit the team. And so we basically said, look, if you wanna come on the team, you're gonna put in a little bit of investment to start with, and it's gonna cost them about $1,000 to go through those three programs and get their basic gear, which is mask, fins, and snorkel. So.
And it's basically it's volunteer.
It's all volunteer, everything is volunteer, we don't get paid. When they call out, it's like, okay, who's here? You know, who can get off of work, who can come. That's how we operate. That's how we've operated for 25 years. So basically all we're asking for is, you know, vehicle maintenance, fuel, and we have tanks. The tanks have to be hydroed, just like fire extinguishers, just like your SCBA's. They have to be hydroed every 5 years, and they're all due on hydro. And so that would be 11 tanks at the county. I do not know what City Carbonics, or whoever's doing the county's stuff right now, I don't know what they call it. It'll be between $25 and $35 a tank, I'm sure. So.
Gary, do you have any, just a ballpark figure, what, since your dive team's been involved with the county, how much money the county's been out on the dive team?
I
Just
do,
ballpark.
I mean, I don't know what the originally outlay is. Each one of those dry suits was literally be about $1,200. So there's 4 of those that were out there. I know our first outlay of money, Dale said, hey, I got about $300 in my budget, and we bought ropes. The tanks, at the time we bought them, were probably about $200 a piece. So we bought 5 when I was there. So you've got $1,000 there. The vehicle, I couldn't tell you our vehicle maintenance, the thing was running, we got a set of tires, for it, and we got it relabeled, when we got it, which was about 3 years ago. So.
The vehicle maintenance, that's the ambulance.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have seen all the equipment, and it's all well kept, squared away. Till all this went back and forth, didn't know, I was just thinking the same thing. They were talking about just maintaining the vehicle with the service periodically, fuel, and then in my mind, they should have to come out of pocket for everything and just support them with ropes and things like that they may come up, and then all this came about, but the equipment is in, they've taken good care of it.
Well, when they respond also, I don't mean to interrupt you, Gary, they show up in their POVs, a lot of them do. They have a driver that goes and grabs an ambulance in the trailer and comes, everybody else shows up in their POV, so that's money out of their own pockets they're spending, so.
I just want everyone to know we never used the word disband. I don't know where that came from. We never used that word. We were looking at our budgets. Our budgets have been cut. Our auditor that we've had for probably 15+ years said we've been living beyond our means for the last several years. But that word was never used because we can't disband a volunteer group. We have no control over a volunteer group, so we, as commissioners, cannot disband you.
I understand
What we advised is that, I can't remember what Bill had in his budget, but it was quite a bit, and we couldn't do that.
So it may have come from me, ma'am, so I never used the word disband, but when I found out your all's thoughts as the commissioners, I called other agencies to see if they could help work with the volunteer dive team. They said at this time, no. I let Chuck or Charles know, who I met out there and saw the equipment with, And I said, there's no monies to help with this, so I was gonna secure our equipment from emergency management.
Yes,
So that may have been the thought, okay, all this is being disbanded, you're a volunteer group. I was just gonna secure the equipment that
right.
I
And we were
signed for,
willing
that's
to
all.
transfer that
Yeah,
equipment
and I can move
over.
it once you guys direct me to.
But in doing some research, there are very few counties that have their own recovery teams.
Correct.
There are very few, and that's where we were coming from, is that we can call OHP and have them come in. You know,
OHP is gonna be one of those things is, you know, if their team's out on another place,
Right.
you know, whatever, or, you know, hey, we'll get there tomorrow, hey, we'll get there when we get there.
OHP don't get no hurry.
Our guys are there, our guys are in the
Sometimes-
county.
You know, but sometimes that's the only thing you have, you know.
Well, you're right,
But-
but then whenever I have to leave a deputy at a site for 24 hours, then the county's paying for that.
Yeah.
That's what you have to look at.
How many
because
recovery calls have we had in Grady County in the last 5 years?
I can
You know?
tell you, yeah.
I think for me, one of the things that I probably need to see is what the maintenance cost on the vehicles and stuff is. Cause it's never been about disbanding, it's been about funding, how we're gonna
Yeah,
fund it.
we never, yeah.
We can pull some of those numbers from past purchase orders if we need to.
And it's, I mean, I'm with y'all, I'd like to see what money we're looking at as far as the maintenance costs and the fuel, absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll have to get that fast, because we go back to another budget meeting, and we've gotta lock it in.
Yeah, and that.
I'm going upstairs, I can ask Sydney if she can pull, because it'll have to come off from emergency
And it-
management, because Dale did it.
And it'll depend on whether they'll put for the dive team or not on it,
Right, yeah.
because we know with everybody's POs, there's not enough description on anyone's POs that come in to tell us anything.
I don't think we have enough information to make a decision, other than we're not gonna disband the dive team, we just gotta figure out how to fund it. So, I'm gonna take no action on this agenda item for today, to gather up what we need to gather up. Alright, item 16, discussion and possible approval of utility pipeline road crossing permits, line permits, and driveway tampon permits.
Thank you for coming.
Good to see you.
The checks.
Oh, I know.
The checks.
Oh, okay.
That's just info for you all.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Item 17, discussion and possible approval of blanket purchase orders.
Make a motion to approve.
One second. Yes.
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Item 18, discussion and possible approval of county officer monthly reports. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Yes.
Item 19, discussion and possible approval of estimated needs, request for appropriations, and transfer of appropriations. I will make that motion to approve.
Second.
Zach?
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
you hit the wrong one. You know that one better.
Okay.
I recognize it.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.